What up, my beautiful people? Dolly back in the house. Today, we're talking Nancy Guthrie, of course, little Sebastian Wayne, Drake Rogers, and the one and only Summer Wells. But I'm going to tell you now, guys, put your seatbelts on. It could get bumpy. Welcome to Dolly Vision, baby.
Bomb Dolly! I'm Dolly Belly. Drake. I'm Dolly, baby. Hey. I'm Dolly, baby. Yeah, the king of this game. Best to ever do it. Put respect on my name. Everybody got a channel. Everybody got a mic, but they ain't got the juice. They built like I'm built. I go live, whole internet shakes. Other creators watching every move that I make. They can copy my style, they can copy my flow, but they'll never beat Dolly, and they already know. I'm a living legend, they should hang me in a Hall of Fame. Greatest true crime voice that they ever heard it all. Best there ever was, best there is today, best there ever will be. What else can I say? Subscribe! Throw your hands in the sky when Dolly goes live. Everybody stops by. Subscribe! Throw your hands in the air. Ain't nobody doing what I'm doing over here. These dudes talk tough, but they're boring as hell. Reading off a script while I'm creating the tale. I'm boots on the ground, they're boots on the couch. I'm out chasing leads while they're running their mouth. I'm the headline of the fine print. I'm the home run, they're a weak hit. I'm the main event, the opening acts. When the history books drop, they're getting cut from the facts. I got people tuned in from the second I appear, cause they know something wild's about to happen in here. I don't chase attention, attention chases me. That's the difference between a legend and a wannabe. I'm a problem, I'm a beast, I'm a one-man show. Got the whole damn true crime world moving too slow. Every time I hit live, I raise the bar again. Everybody else competing for second place, my friend. King of the late night, king of the live stream. King of making something out of nothing but a dream. I built this from the dirt, now I'm sitting on the throne. And the funny part is I did it on my own. Throw your hands in the sky if you're rocking with Dolly. Let me hear that battle cry. Subscribe. Let the whole world know the king just walked in and he's stealing the show. They say arrogance is ugly, maybe that's true, but when you're this damn good, what you supposed to do? I'm the greatest to ever do it, everybody can see. And if there was another Dolly, he's the one to be me. DOLLY. Remember the name, live legend forever. Yeah, I'm changing the game. Best there ever was, best there is, best to be. And everybody else is just chasing me.
Good afternoon, my beautiful people of YouTube. It's good to see so many of you jumping in the chat room already. You already know. Thumb up the video, leave your DNA on the like button. If you're brand new, sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications. And of course, feel free to share my ugly redneck face anywhere you want, okay? As long as it's not Pornhub. Don't do it, all right? Anyway, I got to give my warnings for legal reasons because, there's a lot of people out here on these YouTube streets that will sue your ass, okay, for saying the wrong things on the internet. So Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact, just my opinion, people. Call us today. Opinions are theirs and theirs alone. Everyone in all these cases we're talking about today is innocent to proven guilty. And of course, the biggest one of them all. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. Okay, I'm going to tell you about this brand new case you may have never heard of. Okay, this one is crazy. It's this 84-year-old woman who was kidnapped out of her home in the middle of the night in the Catalina foothills. I know y'all haven't heard about this. Right? This is brand new, breaking. Okay, come on in. This story's wild. It's about a lady who was kidnapped from her home, and the cops can't figure out who did it. I know you're thinking, damn, Dolly, I've never heard of this case. It's about a woman, and the crazy part is her daughter is a celebrity, all right, on a huge show. Y'all probably never heard about this one. So if you haven't, sit down, put on your seatbelts, okay? Savannah Guthrie's mother has been kidnapped. I know you're thinking, damn, Dolly, I didn't see this coming. Right? But it did. It happened. Now, you may have been asleep and didn't realize it, but it happened like 5 months ago. It happened, we just a little late to the dance today. We're just a little late getting here. But this woman was kidnapped in the middle of the night by a man. And you ain't going to believe this one. This is going to shock you. This is a huge shocker. The man had a ski mask on and was caught on video. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dolly. Well, if he's on video and he just had on a ski mask, by now he had to have been caught, right? No, that's the shocking part. He wasn't caught. Okay. He wasn't caught. Nobody knows what happened. Mystery. It's a mystery. Like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? So, anyway, Nancy Guthrie, not a lot of new information coming out in the case, other than the fact that, Nanews, the FBI, they're trying to put the blame on the other people why this case hasn't been solved. I know everybody in here in true crime knows about the Nancy Guthrie case. I'm just playing with you guys today. A little bit of entertainment value in here because a lot of the stuff is pretty much in the Nancy Guthrie case, let's be honest, has turned into nothing but stupid ass drama with a bunch of weirdos and it like lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, pop up the circus tent, give me some cotton candy and a corn dog. Okay, give me some cotton candy and a corn dog at this point because this is what Nancy Guthrie's case is turned into. And that's sad, and it happens in all these cases, right? That's why you see today we're talking Nancy Guthrie, Sebastian Rogers, and Summer Wells. What do these three cases have in common? One, they're all unsolved. Two, all of them turned into a circus. All of them turned into drama. All of them turned into speculation and chaos. So basically, this is all this has done. And holy shit, I've seen some pretty disturbing things this morning. I think I came out yesterday and I think I gave some really solid advice about people that, come out here and double down and down that hill to stand up for what they believe to be right. Okay. And we see this and people blaming people and people threatening with lawsuits and cease and desist letters. And be honest with you, Sebastian Rogers had a lot of the same thing. People getting sued, YouTubers getting sued. Now, in Summer Wells, I don't know if anybody got sued. I don't know if there was any lawsuits in the Summer Wells case. Okay. But definitely some of the same bad characters in all these cases. Okay. And in all these cases, some of them have that similarity in it. Now, it don't help when people have mental health issues, right? Now, we talked about a person yesterday that basically was told to, hey, stop blaming people that have nothing to do with it because it come out that these people that were being blamed say they don't even know Nancy Guthrie. They never lived with her. They don't know Nancy Guthrie. And of course, the person that put that out there said, well, I didn't say it was that person with that last name. My people are different. People are just going with the randomest stuff. And what it is the content is drying up in the Nancy Guthrie case. There's honestly, you're going to see 50 videos today, and none of them will tell you anything you don't already know. Okay? That's just the truth. That is just the truth in the Nancy Guthrie case. You will see 100 videos, and not one of them will tell you something you didn't already know. We know Nancy went missing in the middle of the night. We know the perpetrator, the porch guy. Nobody can figure out who he is. The police had DNA. They can't tie no DNA to a culprit. Everybody that's been detained has been released. Everybody has their theory about Annie and Tommaso being responsible for the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, but nobody can prove it. There's no evidence that points at them, but there's no evidence that don't point at them. And, the person that, I gave my warnings to today, they said something today that it really, a couple things, not only are they homophobic, racist, right? Said some pretty racist things today. They dirty deleted that comment, right? Which was basically talking about, this person that's been trolling by the name of Nerdy Addict. Okay. Nerdy Addict has been trolling the hell out of these independent journalists. I can't say it without laughing. I'm sorry. I just can't say it without laughing, right? Because, listen, I know they watch Dolly because I noticed by the post that was like, some people out here think I'm not a journalist, okay? You could have just said, hey, Dolly said, I'm not a fucking journalist, okay? Everybody knows who said it. I said it, okay? I said it. They're like, some people don't think I'm a journalist just because I don't deliver everything the way, and I'm not professional when I go to a psychiatrist. Okay, well, the psychiatrist needs to tell you something. Okay, like you need to get a better psychiatrist. You need to listen. I'm going to bill you. I will be your psychiatrist, and I'll get you right on the right path. Right, this whole thing of you to this independent journalist that's nonstop, and you're fighting for Nancy while you bash her family. While you bash her family. Today, he said the Guthrie family failed Savannah. Okay? Failed. No, failed Nancy. My bad. I said that wrong. I said that wrong. Failed Nancy. Who attacks the family of a missing person? Now, listen, you can be suspicious, of course. There's answers I like to know myself. I have my suspicions, right? But when you say the entire, when you include her kids, her grandkids, uncles and aunts, and other family members and loved ones in your rant, it is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. And these people get upset because, Nerdy Addict is trolling. Now, Nerdy Addict trolls these people because he thinks they're stupid. But simple as that. That's what he thinks. These people are fucking idiots, and I'm gonna rattle their cage. Okay? It's like when you got a dog barking at you, and you're like, hey boy, come here. You know what I'm saying? And the dog is just going nuts, and you're like, let me out, right? That's what this is about for Nerdy Addict, right? And people, I don't I cannot believe how stupid some people on the internet actually are. Okay. I just can't believe it. Like, I shake my head at how stupid some people are. They really believe that Nerdy Addict is calling in all that he has all this power. Okay. Nerdy Addict is a dude that is sitting at his desk typing some shit to these people, and they are going unhinged over it. They're eating up every word he says, and he's sitting back laughing his ass off. Okay, he's just probably like, "Damn!" That he knows they're stupid, right? He knows they're stupid. He knows they believe every single thing he says, right? So he's like, remember the Taliban when they start taking credit for everything? Everything bad happened. Like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, that was Osama bin Laden. We'll take credit for. He's over there taking credit like he's the fucking Taliban. Okay, he ain't. He's just sitting there poking and prodding these people, and they're just coming unhinged, right, unglued, right on the internet, freaking the hell out, saying the most craziest things. So now, of course, now Criminal Network is tying Nerdy Addict to the people that's supposed to live at Nancy Guthrie. You got to follow this. This shit is like a real live soap opera, right? Like it got me interested in it. Like I'm reading this crazy stuff. Okay, I'm like, you got to be shitting me right now, right? Are they? Is this the level? Like, if intelligence is here, okay, let's just say intelligence is here. This shit is like, it ain't even on the screen. It's like down here somewhere, right underneath the screen of the level of intelligence that is being played out in the Nancy Guthrie case. Like, I sit there and I read stuff and I'm like, can somebody really be this dumb? Because listen, I am not the brightest person. I know there's people way smarter than me out here that have way higher level IQ and intelligence. And I'm reading this stuff and I'm just like, these people are fucking stupid. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't even want to call people stupid. It's mean, and everybody says, "Dolly, you're just mean and hateful." I can't help when I see something stupid. I say something about it, right? This dude did not call the police with a voice changer. Okay, he's posting shit of him as Donald Trump, him as Snoop Dogg. They believe he's contacted these people, and then these people have contacted a lawyer to go against Alex. Okay. And then Alex got this information from, and then Mr. got up and said, "Well, I wasn't talking about those people." He just left your ass in the dark, Alex. He just put you outside in the rain. Okay. Just let, here you go. You on your own, little man. Okay, pat you on the head. What the hell is going on the internet, people? What are these YouTube streets came to? And when did the YouTube streets just flow over into X, right? X is like the biggest clown show. If you want a circus ticket, you have to get on X, which some people would call Twitter. Okay? That shit is straight like ridiculous. It's like straight ridiculous. And you'll fall into that rabbit hole of, because it all kind of like, once you look at something, it starts recommending things to you. And then next thing you know, you're caught there for an hour like you in the Twilight Zone, like doo 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 doo. And now you're seeing all these posts come from all these crazy weirdos. You know, I seen a picture today. JL Arm had 3 arms. I was like, when did that dude get muscles and 3 arms? That's weird. It's weird. It's just like a freaky place. It's like being in a alternate reality somewhere. Okay, that ain't YouTube. Okay. But anyway, this person started attacking Nerdy Addict today because he's Nerdy Addict is winning. Okay, listen, when trolls get a reaction out of you, that is a win for them. Okay, straight up, that's how they win. That's why I usually don't pay the trolls any mind, or when people say hateful stuff, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get a reaction from you. And if you're not a stable person, you're not strong minded, and know, okay, well, these people are just effing with me. Okay, they're just effing with me, and none of what they're saying is true. Then why get all upset about it? You know, like I said, it comes to the point where people are coming a little unhinged and their craziness is showing. Hold on, I'm getting sent some stuff real fast. Let me see what this is. Okay, this is. Let me pull this up for you guys. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of the soap opera with you guys, because there's nothing really, be honest with you, in the Nancy Guthrie case. Except for the drama. That's the only thing that's happening. And this says right here, "Hey Nerdy, I know you won't read this, but I'm sure someone will show you. You bragged about telling Tina Abnosi I was speaking about her and how you had her attorney reach out to me. You see, Nerdy, your character is on the world stage for everybody to see, and it shows is your Iranian and Middle Eastern behavior shining brightly. Question, are you here legally?" Oh man. Um Second question, you do know that a keyboard or phone won't protect you in person, right? Third question, you do know that the US is in the middle of a war with Iran, right? Awful racist coming from Mexican gentleman, I would have to say, right? We also at a war on our borders, right? I mean, we're not in a war with the people of Iran. We're in a war with the regime that is in power in Iran. Okay, we're at war with their government, not with their people, right? A lot of the people in Iran are celebrating what is going on in the war because they want different leadership. Okay. So basically, America is freeing some of these people from a bad government to get out here. And I was like, and this dude is an independent journalist. Okay. I, racist, homophobic. Okay. Unhinged, threatening the family of a missing person. Like right now, people are watching what I consider a train wreck. I truly believe that to be a train wreck. And of course, this is the post right here. Make sure everybody sees this. Make sure you know I ain't making up shit. Okay. Um, Unnecessary behavior, right? And this is the same person, that said something about they go to a psychiatrist and they have mental health problems. And yeah, you think you're a journalist, an investigative journalist, because all you did was take something that JLR posted months ago and then start putting faces to it. And then once, like I said, JLR even separated himself from that shit last night. Because you know what? JLR, he is a puppet master. Okay, this man is a puppet master, and he is pulling strings like, get him, Dolly. Listen, I'm not even really been trying to be mean to him, right? I'm getting comments on the page like, Dolly, what the fuck you gonna talk about people, right? Because it's in the case that I'm talking about. I don't want to be mean to Alex, right? I could have went if he hadn't said nothing stupid. If he would stop saying stuff stupid, I'd stop talking about him. I don't have no personal vendetta against this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I wake up this morning and be like, man, you know what? I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna be mean to Alex. Okay? No, he got to stop saying stupid shit. And the problem is people are encouraging this behavior. Okay, please stop. The man has mental health problems. He's not hinged very well. He cannot take criticism. He doubles down. He triples down. He gets even crazier. But people are like, yeah, Alex, yeah, pumping him up, putting batteries in his back. You got JLR pulling fucking strings, right? It is like, oh God, what is going, and that's why everybody's watching. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, now you got me. I'm checking Twitter for updates to see what's the next crazy thing you say is. All right. Already today, you done threatened the family. Well, you didn't threaten the family. You threatened Nerdy because you can't take the heat, right? You can't take a little bit of trolling. Listen, how can you be on the internet for so long and not be able to handle trolls? All right, you at some point you got to get used to it, right? Like I pick back, I'll hit you. Trolls write me all the time. I write them back and tell them to kiss ass, do whatever foul thing I can think of at the moment, right? And I just to get a reaction out of them because I know that they're doing this to get a reaction out of me. Okay, they're doing it to get a reaction, right? So, like I said, Nerdy is trolling. Nerdy ain't called the FBI on him. We know Savannah called the police on him. I don't think Nerdy called Tina Abnosi, right? I don't think that happened. You're saying all these things and it's coming back on you, and you're just looking for like you're playing victim. You're the victim. Whoa, me. I'm just the guy out here fighting for the First Amendments, but you keep saying crazy shit, inaccurate, misinformation, right? You believe everything. And I can't believe people believe all this, right? I just can't believe it. I kind of love when Alex is mad. Yeah, but he ain't hinged well, right? It'd be okay if he would stop attacking the family. Like, I don't have a problem with all this other shit or him fighting with Nerdy or any of that. But stop throwing the family out there. And if you are going to throw certain family members out there, why do you throw the whole family out there? Every time you say it, the whole family failed Nancy Guthrie. Well, we know Savannah's looking. Well, helping. I don't think she can personally get out there and look, right? What do you do? I mean, has he ever had somebody kidnapped? I haven't, right? I don't know what I would do. I honestly don't. I don't know what I would do. I know I'd probably listen to the FBI. If the FBI said, look, don't go out, don't be out in the public, don't say nothing, I'm probably going to do what they're telling me because the FBI's got more experience in looking for missing people than I do, right? I'm I will be amazed if this man. Now, here's his argument for everything. I ain't got shit. Sue me. That's terrible. I ain't got shit. Sue me. You're gonna be doing it for practice, right? Sounds like Dolly, right? Sounds like, hey, what are you gonna take? What you gonna take from me? All right. None of my shit's in my name. That's the mentality, right? Like, oh fuck them, let them sue me, right? That's crazy. That is just crazy, and like that man honestly needs one solid friend around him. One, just one person be like, man, come on, dude. Come on, man. Okay, like, Joe Biden. Come on, man. What are you doing over there? You off the rails. Okay, you are off the rails. Somebody needs to stop encouraging that behavior. And I see people like, I love it when he gets mad. Because you're watching a shit show. Everybody loves a good shit show. I'll buy a ticket right now. Where's the line start for a good shit show today? I'm in. I'm down with you. I'm sitting beside you in this bitch, right? We're gonna be together. Right? I'm watching it when it's like that. But don't encourage it, because what if he does something crazy? Somebody gets hurt. I doubt that. I doubt that happens. But I'm just saying, like, people with mental health problems, I when you're out here saying things that are threatening, harassing, homophobic, racist, and then you got people encouraging that behavior. I'm like, what the hell? And these are old women, okay? You knitting your blankets, talking about, go Alex, go. No, don't. Pipe your ass down, sit down and shut up, okay? You at the sit down and shut up point at this point, right? This is the only advice I can give you, bro. Sit down and shut up. Okay, sit down and you done lost your mind. Okay, you 2 minutes from being in a padded ass room. All right, I'm surprised you ain't been canceled. Okay, I've seen people get canceled for way less than that. Okay, way less than what you out here doing, and you're taking the bait. Okay, you're so easy. It is so easy to get under your skin, right? I even told PJ today, we just left the airport. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and get all up under Alex's skin today. Because I ain't got nothing better to do, right? I ain't got nothing better to do. And I know, like, it gets to him for some reason. It gets to him. And it shouldn't. You shouldn't be so easy to get to, right? You got to put up a force field on YouTube, right? You got to put up a force field. You know what I'm saying? And your force field is weak. Okay, the force is not strong with you. Okay, it's just not. It's just not. You're an easy target. You're like not even good practice, right? You're not even good practice. And what I see Nerdy doing, and it ain't even Alex so much as it's the people that are supporting Alex. Listen, I'm not telling y'all don't support that man. Support that man. He probably needs all the help he can get, right? But stop believing everything and then pumping it into his head. Oh yeah, this is all nerdy. No, it's not. It's all you, bro. It's all you. Let's be truthful. And is Nerdy helping the situation? No. And Nerdy knows he's dealing with somebody with mental health issues. Shame on you, Nerdy, right? Shame on you. You know this man is unhinged, and you just effing with him every day, every chance you got. And you know his people believe anything. They believe anything. So every time he says, he uses a George Bush or damn Trump voice changer, they're telling Alex, yeah, it's nerdy, man. He admitted to it. Okay. I could admit to anything and they would believe it. Okay. They would believe it. If I came out here and said, it wasn't nerdy, it was me. I used a voice changer. Okay. I can't change my voice. No matter what I use, it still comes out redneck. Okay. I can use a voice changer. It sounds like a redneck voice changer. Can't change it. It just ain't no way. But if I said that, they would believe it. Oh man, Dolly called on you. He did. All you have to do is say it, right? And it'll spread through that circle like fire, and then they'll all start believing it. And we need better mental health in this country. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. We need better mental health. And people that are encouraging him to attack the family, this man will never have nothing in this world at this rate. Okay, because when he gets sued for like $20 million, there's people encouraging him. You think they're going to pay it, right? Let me use Upchurch's example once again. $17.5 million. Okay. Did you see anybody go, here, Upchurch, here's $20. I'm sorry I pumped you up. No, you didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. You know what you see? People going, Upchurch shouldn't have said that shit. He was, see what happens when you, that's what he got. Okay. That's what he didn't get. Like, everybody didn't come rally behind him and be like, here, man, here's $100. You know, now all you need is 16.5 more million. You know, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. All these people that are putting batteries in your back and the puppet master pulling your strings. You didn't see that in the Upchurch case. I think everything that happens you should learn from, right? Every bit of it you should learn from. Okay? If you see something and you experience something, you should learn from that event. Like I did. I learned quickly from Callie Rodney. You can get sued really bad for everything you got. Easy. Okay? It ain't even that hard. It's pretty simple. You just go to a lawyer, they take the case. Next thing you know, you in court and homeless. Okay? That's all it takes. One wrong thing you said, and you know it's a lie, or you just making shit up, it's defamation. Right? And I'll be surprised at this point when you put out all that stuff on Nerdy Addict today, being family members with all these people are sue happy out here. Everybody's like, ooh, lawsuit. I'm going to get paid. Right? Now, of course, does Alex have much? Probably not. You know, he probably blew through that money, his lawyer money that he never got, in a matter of how long you think that money lasted him? Not long. I don't think that money lasted very long. In this day and age, you know, in 1980, you know, 20 G's was a lot of money. Okay? 20 G's a lot of money in 1980. 2026, that's a couple dinners and filling your car up. Okay? He ain't got a car. But it ain't much as it used to be. That money don't last. That money was gone immediately, right? It don't last that long, right? And let's just say right now you don't have much, right? Well, that's your own fault. You know, you've had 50 years to work hard and get and acquire assets. Okay. Like, I don't have a lot of pocket money. Matter of fact, the money I did have, I gave to Ava today because she's going to Croatia. I don't have a lot of pocket money, but I have assets. I have vehicles, house, properties, things that I've acquired over my 50 years of working my ass off my whole life. And those little things I have, I don't want to lose. It ain't a lot. A lot of people have way more than what I got, but I've worked my ass off for the few things I have. I don't want to lose those things for saying something stupid, right? And you may not have nothing. You may be in this mentality where, oh, I don't need shit, right? But that mentality, your mindset may change. That's the weird thing. When I was young, I have a different mindset than I have today. 6 years ago, I had a different mindset than I have today. So even though you're here in this moment and you're thinking this way, You may not think that way in the future. You may think, well, look, I'm getting old. I need to acquire some things. I need to leave. You might start thinking about your loved ones. Okay. And I don't want to talk about your family, nothing like that. But you might want to think about those people because to me, that's the most important thing to me is not what I acquire at this moment. It's about what can I do for my family? Okay. That's all I worry about at this point. My kid, PJ, the family, right? The kids, the family. That's the most important thing to me. It's not acquiring things for me, it's acquiring things for them. Because one, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. And I can't take none of this shit with me. You know what I'm saying? You don't never see a U-Haul being pulled by a hearse. You can't take it with you. So all this stuff you build, the empire you build is not for you. It's for your family. And I think if you don't have the right mindset, you don't realize that. Hey, I'm doing all this. This hard work wasn't because I wanted to work hard because I wanted a fucking Corvette. It's I worked hard because I want my family to have it easier than I had it. Okay. I don't want my kid to have to work as hard as I did. Okay. And that was the same way my mom's mentality was that, hey, I'm gonna work my ass off so you don't have to work as hard. And then my same mentality is I'm going to work my ass off so the next generation don't have to work as hard. You know what I'm saying? It's all about everything is about family to me, right? So you may not be in that mindset, right? It seems like you ain't quite there yet. It's weird because you're an older guy, but maybe you may get to that point to where you are like, hey, I need to get my shit right. And next thing you know, you got 100,000. Let's just say 100,000 or 50,000 or it did 25,000 is a lot of money. You got a $25,000 judgment on you, right? So if you do decide, okay, I'm gonna go out and get a real job because let's just say independent journalism doesn't work out for you, which eh, I wish you the best, okay? But I don't know if you're going to get the best, all right? He needs new surroundings with better people, need to focus on his family as well. Family is everything. I 100% agree with you, right? I 100% agree with you. And, you know, some people reach that level of, I don't, I ain't going to say enlightenment, but I would say wisdom, right? Of wisdom that, hey, listen, I ain't promised tomorrow. If I leave today, if I have to pack my bags and go with Jesus, where will my family be? Can they make it without me? I think like that, right? Even when I had my heart attack, and I'll share this with you. Was I scared? Absolutely. I was scared. But I didn't want to appear scared because it was upsetting PJ and it was upsetting Tiffany, right? So my concern was making sure that they wasn't scared. Even though I was scared, right? I wanted to make sure they wasn't, right? Like if I leave, I leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't that type of thing. In this world, you just never know, right? And you I think be a good person, right? Just be a good person and encourage people to be good people. Okay? Because some people need encouragement. Some people are not leaders, they're followers. And my man is a follower. Right? That ain't being mean. That ain't talking shit. That is 100% truthful. Bro, you a follower, right? And you need to become a leader, right? The people you following, I don't know what the hell. I don't know. I don't know. That Kool-Aid good as a bitch over there. That's all I can say is the man making hellacious cup of Kool-Aid. I almost want to drink it. Okay, let's do it. Let's all get in it. You know what I'm saying? We can hit the tamarines like Harry Krishnas and shit. I don't know. I don't know what they got going on, but it's good, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, don't attack the family. That's been my biggest problem with Alex out of all of it. It ain't the craziness of it. It's the attack in Savannah that I truly don't like. All right, because listen, I didn't know Savannah before this, but I did truly when I watch her do those interviews. You can see a broken woman. Okay, a broken woman. I'm still mad that Cameron said it was Savannah's fault. I think that's dirty as hell for your brother to say. I couldn't say that to my sisters. My sisters, one, they're crazy. Okay, they'd probably try to kill me, right? And but to say that to your sister, this is your fault, and the woman's crushed. I mean, tore apart. Like, did anybody not see a broken woman? Now you may say something different about Annie. She had a little smirk and smile, so I get it. But Annie herself, when I watched that woman on TV, I seen a broken woman. Broken. Like tore apart. Like she went from being like this bougie ass fancy woman on Today's Show to like ragged out, hair fucked up, look like she ain't slept in days, and just like I was like, damn, that's a major difference. I seen a broken woman. And I my heart went out to her. Calling. Hello. That was my daughter. The world is coming to an end. Okay. She said she went online. She tried to purchase the Stray Kids album, and the website glitched out and refunded her money. And now the albums are sold out. Hey, your father forever. Okay, just because they get older don't mean you ain't got daddy duty. So I got to cheer her up. Anything goes bad in life, right? You got to be like, okay, Tiff. Well, it wasn't meant to be, but we'll make sure you get good tickets to the next Stray Kid show, right? And she's like, you promise? And I'm like, yeah. So now she's like, I'm like, celebrate life. It ain't the end of the world because these kids these days, anything happens, they think it's the end of the world. The whole world's ending. I couldn't get Stray Kids album, right? Like, one, it's not even in English. Okay, it's not even in English. It's like North Korean or some shit. Like Kim Jong Un put it out, right? Produced it. I don't know why these kids are into all this K-pop shit. I just don't get it. Like when I was a kid, I didn't be like, well, can somebody give me that Russian album over there? I want to listen to some Russian, even though I don't speak one drop of Russian. Like, did you take Korean in school? How the hell do you know what they even saying? They could be saying America sucks, and you don't even know. You don't even know, right? Like, what the hell? Okay. Like, tell me one word they're saying. I was in the car with her. No lie. Listen, we're going to get the oil changed in her car because I always change the oil in her car. Well, I take it to get it changed, but I don't let her drive. So I drive, and she knows I can't really stand this K-pop stuff, right? So I'm riding. She's cranking some shit that I can't understand one word of, and she's singing along, right? She's singing every word in Korean. And I'm like, we're at this light, and I'm like, Tiffany, do you know what you're saying? And she's like, no. Like, but you know the words to the song. She's like, yeah, I just don't know what the words mean. And I'm like, to me, that is crazy. like Rammstein or Rammstein. Du hast. Yeah, I don't know German, right? I don't know what they're saying, right? I mean, their music's okay. Rammstein, they got some pretty decent sounding music. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I don't really listen to it. Like if you hopped in my car right now, you'd have a better chance of me listening to Taylor Swift than you would some K-pop. Okay, Justin Bieber. I don't listen to none of that shit, right? I'm usually listening like Hatebreed and Slayer and old school Metallica, and I don't know, but I just thought I'd share that with y'all, get that off my chest. Oh wow, she could be saying anything. That's what I'm saying. There's parts of it that they will speak like broken English in, right? Like they may have a hook and it may be in a little bit of English, and then the verses will be in Korean. Okay, it's always Korean stuff. Like she listens like the BTS, the Stray Kids, and all these other little and like the concert tickets are insane. I mean insane. Like, when I go to a concert, I went and seen Hatebreed the other day, right? It was $42 to see Hatebreed. 42 bucks. When Tiffany goes to a concert, tickets are $1,200, $1,400. You're like, what the hell, right? For like, it's crazy. Like these I should have been in a Korean boy band. I messed up. I should have moved to North Korea and started singing pop. I If I knew they made the kind of money they make, oh my Jesus. Okay. All right, back on track. Where was we? This dude needs a friend. Okay, he needs a friend to tell him pipe down. That's the moral of the whole Nancy Guthrie stuff. I'm not gonna hate, like super hate, because I do believe the drama, believe it or not, is keeping people talking. It's keeping people interested in this. But what I'm saying is, I think all these cases at some point, when it runs out of information, then it really becomes the drama. Now, I am fueling that fire here today, right? Blowing wind on it, because I know when I say shit, it he listens to it and it gets to him. Everything's getting to him. And I'm telling them don't let it get to you, but it still will get to him, right? It will still get to him. And I think the sad part of this is, he keeps, I guess some of his family don't like what he's doing, right? And I think if you just cleaned it up and stop being so foul and like stop with the homophobic stuff, stop with the racist stuff, stop attacking the family of a missing person, and I think your family will have respect for what you do. Like I don't dislike what you do, I just dislike how you do it, right? I mean, I do similar things. I respect the grind on getting out there, putting out the story. Now, I'm never going to get out here and tell people I'm a journalist, okay, or I'm an independent journalist or investigative journalist. That's up to you to decide, right? Me, I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. I bring content to the internet. I try to entertain a little bit, but I am passionate about true crime. And I just think of this as I bring y'all along on my journey. I would do these same things if you guys wasn't here with me. That's why I always thank y'all for coming on the journey with me, because I would do this either way, right? If there was no cameras, no TV, no nothing, I would still go do these things, right? Um, it's become a real big over the last 6 years. I don't know how I got to where I'm at. Really, I didn't choose it. Some people I feel like have chose this. They've seen opportunity in this from people that are making really, really big money at it. Now, not everybody, but some people are making really big, doing good. I mean, really damn good. There's one YouTube creator out here making like 30K a week. Can you imagine making money like that? I couldn't. I couldn't imagine that shit. Life changing type money. And people see that and they think everybody can do that, but you can't. Okay. It is hard to get to a level of that success. You got to be really good, or you have to be one of the best con men out here. You know what I'm saying? And we see both of them on the YouTube. We see some people that are really good, and we see some people that can sell it, right? And so I think people want to take the easy route, but I would have to say that YouTube is the hard route. It's the hard route. YouTube comes with so many ups and downs and things like that. And I don't want this to be mean, right? I have a weird way of getting my message out. I hope the dude just pipes down and stops the crazy stuff, the racism, the homophobic stuff, the attacking the families, all that. And I think he's realized though that it drums up views. Okay? It drums up views. If I want, even I know, if I want a bunch of views, oh, I can hit a train wreck, derail the train real quick. Oh man, they'll have me on every clip channel. Everybody be talking about you. And then boom, them views start rolling in because people starting to hate watch you. Right? You think that's crazy, but there'd be 1,000 people hate watching you just to see the train go off the tracks, right? So I think he's realized the more chaos he creates, the more success or more people it brings to him. And, he's blaming people for getting his channel demonetized, but yet he got up there on a homophobic rant, right? And even out his mouth, he said that, the reason they deleted my channel was because of I said these things. Now it's blame other people. Oh, these trolls got my channel demonetized. Well, let me tell you this. Trolls ain't making you say homophobic stuff. They're not making you say racist stuff. They're not making you attack a innocent family. Okay? Trolls ain't making you do that. You doing that on your own. Okay? Nobody's over there twisting your arm. Say this, say this. No, you chose to say those things. Now, could I come up here and say the same things? I could, but I think I have a little more class than that. I don't know when my girl's watching, when my dad, I'm not doing nothing to have people fucking outraged at me, right? I don't like to, and I don't feel like that. I don't hate anybody. Like I don't care if you're a man that likes men, or if you're a woman that likes women, if you're Baptist, if you're Muslim, if you're Iranian, if you're damn from Pakistan, or I don't care about any of those things. I don't think that's important in this world. You know, I don't hate Savannah Guthrie. I don't think it's her fault. Okay, I don't think it's Savannah's fault that she was successful in life. I don't. She probably worked hard to get to the position she did. There's a lot of people that would like to have her job, and she's probably worked hard to keep that job and things like that. And I'm sure her mother was proud of Savannah, right? Every bit of success I've ever had in life, my mom was proud of me. She's like, good job, keep up the hard work. Encouraged every bit of it. So let's just say I blew up on YouTube and then somebody goes and kidnaps my mom. Is it my fault that I blew up on YouTube? Absolutely not. So when Cameron said that, it's Savannah's fault, shame on you, bro. That's terrible. Don't say that about your sister, right? I feel bad for you. And, of course, when stuff happens, people are looking for people to blame. It's human nature to try to put the blame somewhere. But I think Savannah's going through enough that she shouldn't be being attacked by this guy. Okay. Like I would say, man, stop worrying about her family and worry about your family. Okay. It seems like you got issues inside the home that you need to fix of your own before you start worrying about other people's life. Okay. Now me, my kid's grown. I've I've done my job. I sit here, PJ's at work. I I got time. right? I got time. But like I said, do better. People encourage, and like I said, so many people are encouraging this. If people were raging about what he was doing, he would stop. He would stop. So I blame him for his words, right? But also there's people out there that are encouraging this behavior. Never encourage me to be bad. Don't do it. I don't want you to encourage bad behavior. I want you to encourage me to do good stuff. All right? Cuz I need you guys to keep my spirits up and me on the right path and me doing good things, right? I don't like don't ever encourage me to be bad. Can I be bad? Yeah, I can be bad, right? I'm human, right? I can be bad. But if you surround yourself with bad people, it's a lot easier to be bad. You surround yourself with good people, you're going to start saying good things, you're going to start doing good things. You need to be a good person, right? That's important. That's important. And you got to realize that Nancy Guthrie's case is just one case of a million. A million. That's it's crazy because so many people come missing and go missing in this country. It's one of those things. Um, you would do better if you were in a Cincinnati Bengals hat. Oh, were you hating on the Raiders hat? I'm not even a big fan of the Raiders, to be honest with you. People think I'm a fan of the Raiders all the time, right? And the reason I wear the Raiders cap is because I'm a real big fan of Easy E. Always my favorite rapper ever in the history of rap music. And ECE always wore a Raiders cap. That's why Dolly always wears a Raiders cap. I don't watch the Raiders. I don't wear it as a symbol of a football. I'm not even a big football fan. To be dead ass honest with you, I'm not. I wear the Raiders stuff because I'm a fan of old school hip hop. And Easy E, which is my favorite rapper, always wore a Raiders cap. So I wear a Raiders cap. Okay. That now you know. Let y'all in on a little Dolly secret there. All right. So I definitely wouldn't wear a Cincinnati Bengals hat though. I don't even like the colors. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, one I like black and silver. It's a good. It goes with everything, right? It kind of goes with everything. So the Raiders one my favorite rappers team, and two it has good colors. Okay, good color scheme. I'm more about things matching and going together than I am anything else. But people all the time come up to me and be like, "Yo, man, well, we're gonna have a good season this year," and I'm like, "Man, I couldn't tell you one person that plays for the Raiders. Not one person on the team. If you put a gun in my head and said, what was a, what was how many wins and losses did we have last season?" I'd be like, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you who played in the Super Bowl. Be dead ass honest with you. I have no clue. I wear it as just a hat. Okay, I just wear it as a hat. I ain't invested. I ain't invested, right? I'm not that dude. Stop saying crap stuff in our chat. Trolls not allowed. Now, listen, we'll let you say crap stuff as long as you're not saying nothing super hateful and mean. If you're like, "Oh, Dolly, you're a big bully," I don't care about that stuff. You can say all that shit you want. Um, we understand that some people like different type of content. I get it. Some people like rude, crude stuff, right? It's like if you watch old school Eddie Murphy or if you watch Kevin Hart, okay? One is raunchy and one is Disney, family friendly. There's room for both of those comedians out there, and there's room for two different types of YouTubers out there. There's a million people, and when the people come here like and say mean shit, I didn't force you to come here. You chose to come here. You chose to be like, "Well, I'm gonna click on Dolly, see what he got to say today." If you don't like what I have to say, just don't watch. You don't have to be mean and hateful. And, I mean, I don't really care if you are, because either way, it's, it helps the channel when you leave a mean comment. Okay. I don't think people realize that, but it's engagement. Okay. I don't usually comment back, but I read everything. So if you hating out there, leave a comment. I read it. Okay. You might get blocked, right, by one of the mods, but usually I read it. Okay. I read everything. I hear what you people are saying. And I get it that, listen, that person may be your favorite YouTuber. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. Tell your favorite YouTuber stop saying stupid shit. Okay. And I won't say nothing about them. Like, I don't have a personal vendetta against anybody at all. This is just YouTube to me. This is like sport, okay? Like the Raiders. It's just a sport to me, But true crime, when I get up here talking, is that true crime is my passion. Okay, I love some true crime. Hey, a true crime thing I miss, and I want justice for these people. That's real. The rest of it's just entertainment for me. I mix the true crime with entertainment and comedy and effing around. I like to have a good time. Um, and we really do need to find Nancy Guthrie. Like I said, even with him saying stupid stuff, I still feel like, at least people are still paying attention. I try to find the good in the bad. And I don't care about him attacking Nerdy Addict. Nerdy Addict has been poking them and picking on them, and I get it. They're going to go back and forth. That's fine. Like I said, my biggest problem with it is attacking Savannah because I feel sorry for her. Right? I do. I feel sorry for that woman. Like I said, we all seen her break. We seen her get to her breaking point, and that is horrible. Nerdy can take it. Yeah, I know Nerdy can take it. He can say anything he wants to say about Nerdy. I wouldn't pay it no mind. But don't turn it racist and homophobic and you're like, oh, all these people are mad, they're attacking me, and you're playing victim, right? You ain't a woman. Don't act like a woman. Okay? Don't If you ain't a woman, don't act like a woman. Act like, there's certain rules as men we supposed to follow, and you breaking a lot of those rules, right? He's breaking a lot of those man laws. Uh, but yeah, stop attacking the family. And I won't say nothing about you. But every time you attack Savannah, yeah, I don't like it. 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 I feel so bad for her. Like I said, I feel bad that a brother blamed her because I feel like it's not Savannah's fault. The person that was at that door, the monster that took Nancy, the person that hurt Nancy, that is the person that everybody should be talking shit about. That person, that piece of shit, horrible monster that deserves the death penalty. That's who people should be saying bad things about, not Savannah, right? Not Savannah. This Can you imagine somebody taking your mama and then people shit talking you? Could you imagine that? And we know Savannah didn't do it, right? Does anybody in here think Savannah did it? Press 1 in the chat. Listen, I ain't gonna be mad at you. If you really think that, let me know. Do you think Savannah had something to do with it? Press 1. I mean, directly had something to do with it. Like, go off my mom. Press 1 in the chat. I just want to see if anybody believes that. So, why attack her? Why attack her? 1, you do? Okay. There's somebody in here that thinks Savannah has something to do with it. All right. There's a 1 right there. Now, I'm not putting your picture on the screen to attack you. I'm just, if you believe that, you believe it. I'm not mad at you for what you believe. Okay. I'm definitely not. You're entitled to believe whatever you want to believe. I just have a hard point of how you got. Here's another person that believes Savannah has something to do with it. I just have a hard point understanding how you got to that point to where you could put 1 in the chat and go, I think Savannah had something to do with it. It's really heartless, I think. Like we seen this woman destroyed. Like, I don't know what she did that's so suspicious to you. Most of the people are saying no, no, no. Yeah, right? Like, but there was a couple ones, and I'm glad you were honest. I'm absolutely listen. I'd much rather if you say something, I'd rather you be real and honest than be like just go with the program. Right? Don't do that. Right? Because this is not an echo chamber. Because I believe something, don't mean you got to believe it. All right, you're your own people. I want everybody here to be leaders, not followers. It's important. Some people are saying F no. When I seen that second video, I knew she had broke. Right? I knew she had broke. And the latest one, oh my God, it almost made me cry when she was on the Today Show And she said, I'll be thinking about it when I'm in my car, and that how destroyed it is for her, how destroyed she is. And how, this is what really got me. And she says, I come up here and I try to put on this smile and this fake face, but really inside I'm destroyed. But she's like, I promise you, I'll get back to that smile that I once had. That hurt my heart. Oh my God, that was so bad. That was like, I just wish I could have reached out and hugged that woman. Now, I don't know her, right? And I don't even find it relatable. I'm not even a fan. Okay. That's the bad part. But I love just my human brothers and sisters. I wouldn't want to hear you say that. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody say that. It's one of those things that, like, man, I would never want to be in that situation. Now, have I ever had to put on that fake face? Yeah, I've been destroyed. I've lost loved ones that broke my heart, crushed me, right? And it's hard. I mean, hard. Like some of the toughest times I've ever been through in my life. And I'm just trying to hold it together. And really inside, I'm completely destroyed. I've been there, right? Now, I ain't never had nobody kidnapped, but I've had that sorrow and that pain to where, I'm smiling on the outside, but I'm really dying on the inside. And that's what she's going through. And that is rough. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have been in that same position where you're trying to hold it together for everybody else. It's just like I said in my heart attack, I was being calm to keep them calm. Really, I was tore apart inside and scared to death. But on the outside, I portrayed something different because that's what I felt like I had to do. And I feel Savannah's in that same way. How can you get up on TV and smile when really you're destroyed on the inside? And it's going to take it, time heals all wounds. It don't cure wounds though. Like the same pain I felt, losing loved ones and stuff like that, I still have that pain. It's not as severe. I've grown to accept it that they're in heaven and they're still with me. And there's things that I tell myself to make the pain not as bad, right? But I feel like Savannah has went through all that, and to attack her and to add to that is horrible. It's almost like stacking pain on top of pain, like she said. And have some respect for that woman. If you think family members are suspicious, then say you think those family members are suspicious. But don't say fuck the whole family. The whole family failed Nancy. Because we don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. We really don't. And to me, when you do things like that and you attack innocent people and you start to be victimizing, that's when I feel you're open game to it ain't that I want to talk bad about people, it's you made me. You made me have to say bad things about you because what of your actions. Your actions are horrible. They don't line with my morals and my values, not at all, right? Like I said, you would tell that lady she failed her whole family. I would reach out and give that lady a hug. People are just different, Everybody thinks of things and sees things in different ways. Perception, my perception is this is a broken woman that's lost her mother, and she deserves some level of respect, even though I don't know her, even though I'm not a big, like I said, I don't find her to me to be relatable, and this is just the honest truth, right? But she is human and she should be treated as a fellow human being, as just like anybody else deserves that respect. I don't care if I'm your friend or your enemy, right? Even if I didn't like you and you was going through something terrible, I would be like, that is horrible. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. There's people out here that I'm not fond of. And there's some people out here I'm not fond of that went through some terrible tragedies. And I feel super bad for those people, even though I personally don't really care for those people. But I care for them as human beings. Now, as far as associating with you, that's a different story. Like, you're not my type of person to associate with. But I'm still going to feel bad for you when tragedy strikes, even if you're a bad person. Right? I don't wish bad on people. I don't, because I feel like you put that energy out there, you get that energy back. I just truly do. All right. So anyway, don't attack that lady. There ain't no damn news in the Nancy Guthrie case. That was 2 hours, an hour of talking about nothing but drama and soap opera shit, right? Hopefully it fueled the fire a little bit. Keep it going. All right. Keep it going. Keep Nancy's name out there, people. That's all that really matters. The rest of the shit is just space filler. Okay. It's like the foam you put in a box when you send a package. It ain't for shit, but it helps pack the box. Okay. Uh Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Okay, let's get to some people that have been, not getting the attention they deserve because everybody's went Nancy crazy. Okay, Nancy crazy. Um, 2 years, been missing for over 2 years. This year in December, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers will turn 18 years old. Went missing. He looks like a little kid here, right? But we got to remember, he's almost a grown man now. Okay. 4 months, this little boy will be 18 years old. I always call him Little Wayne Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. But honestly, when he went missing, he was bigger than me. And everybody's like, why you always call him Little Sebastian? I mean, because he's a kid to me. Little as in kid, not little as in height. You know what I'm saying? He'd be taller than me. He'd be probably bigger than me by now. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's missing, and like there's nothing. There's really nothing on him. And he used to have this really big army. I mean, almost the same size as the Nancy Guthrie army. Okay. Well, they at least the one thing about Nancy Guthrie is people haven't declared an army yet. Like, oh, we're Nancy's, like she don't have like a following like that. She has a following, like everybody's into it, but they ain't all grouped up and been like, we Sebastian Strong and getting tattoos of Nancy and shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really seen that with Nancy, which I think is a good thing. Okay. When people start to get all weird and clicked up and taking sides, like you ever notice there's not two sides in the Nancy case? There's only one. I guess it sort of is. Some people blame the family, some people don't. So I guess there's two sides, but it ain't as prominent as it was in like Sebastian. Okay, Sebastian had the mama side and they had Seth Rogers side. It was split, like boom. Like, and I always tried to stay neutral in the cases, because even in the Nancy Guthrie case, for people that think Annie and Tommaso have something to do with it, I always tell y'all, well, I have my suspicions about them too, but I don't think they do. Right. So I'm really on a different team than a lot of you guys. Right. I'm over here thinking the family ain't got nothing to do with it, but I respect what y'all believe. Okay. I do. I can understand why you believe it. I try to see both sides of the coin, heads and tails. I understand why some of y'all believe they're suspicious. And I think some of y'all understand why I think they're not. Because we really don't know. We don't have any proof, and everybody's going off of speculation. So I think we should all respect what our opinions of each other, even if you think the family's involved or they're not involved. We all want the same thing. We all want Nancy found, right? Now, in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, they had a lot of manpower. Unlike Nancy, they got out there and they searched a lot for Sebastian. Now, this kid left his home, I believe it was February 24th. All right. The same day that Maddie Soto, for y'all that remember Maddie Soto, went missing February 24th. Also, the same day. They both went missing on the same day. Of course, Maddie was found deceased, but Sebastian Rogers had never been found. And when they searched for Sebastian, they searched. I mean, hundreds of people out there searching, horses, four-wheelers, SWAT. They even had the SWAT team out there searching. They had grid maps, everything. So they searched for I think the first search was like 10 days. Okay, straight searching the ditches, the roadways, the surrounding woods, everything around Sebastian Rogers' home for 10 straight days. What we didn't see that in Nancy's case, right? What the Nancy, it was a day and a half, and they were gone, right? But Sebastian wasn't the same. And then they took a little time off to start investigating, all right? And then they did another full scale search. When I mean full scale search, I'm talking about helicopters, planes. So then they did a second best true crime ever. Thank you. Best ever be, best there will be. Just put me in the Hall of Fame now. Put me in the Hall of Fame now. So they did another large scale search and hundreds of people again. Okay, a double one. And I knew right then, I was like, okay, this is the last search they're going to do for Sebastian Rogers because how large it was. I was like, okay, this is that final push, right? That they're going to make to say, okay, we did everything we could do. This child is not here, right? And I truly believe he's not around that house. He's not within 5 miles of his home. One, I searched a lot of that area myself. Hundreds of searchers searched it, helicopters, cadaver dogs, you name it, had been in that area. So Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had made it out of that 5 mile radius. And man, we were so lied to in the beginning of his case. Just everything was a lie. He was nonverbal, autistic, like low on the like they made it sound like he needed a fucking drool rag that he was so autistic, right? He didn't have no internet access and all these things. All that was lies. All lies, 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 and more lies. Okay. We find it out now he had PlayStation, which is online. He had his Switch, which was online. He had internet. Okay. They made it out to be like this little boy lived in a cave and had no communications with the outside world, which was absolutely not true. That like he was so loved and cared about and how bad they wanted him. But when push come to shove, they were trying to put him into a home. Okay. They were trying to put Sebastian into a home. They couldn't handle him. He was getting to an age where he was allegedly doing inappropriate stuff, and they could, I guess he was back talking to his step parent. Because at some point, if you look at the old pictures of, let's say, CP and Sebastian Rogers, CP stands for Chris Proudfoot. I know a lot of people talking codes. But I'm not going to blame them. I'm going to give you my suspicions. At some point, something went wrong between Sebastian and Chris Proudfoot. Now, I don't know exactly when that was because like I said, if you look at old images and old videos that did surface, it seemed like him and Chris had a good relationship, right? Chris taught him how to ride the backhoe, to work the heavy machinery. Chris Proudfoot taught Sebastian Rogers how to ride a bike. But then I think that them teenage years got there and a little bit of rebellion, and this is hypothetically, I don't know for sure, got in and Sebastian started to maybe back talk or not listen as well. Okay, because sometimes autistic children they kind of do their own thing sometimes. And at the point Sebastian Rogers went missing, I had to say, because of this young man, I got educated a lot more on autistic children than I had ever been before. Because really, I didn't know too much about autistic children. To me, it was like you're either slow or you're not slow. But now they have more medical knowledge of what's going on with these kids, and these kids they can vary. There's different levels of being on the spectrum. Some people are nonverbal, and some people are like Rain Man. You know what I'm saying? So there's all these different levels to being autistic. And when you say autistic, if you would have told me autistic a few years ago, I would have just thought super slow person, right? Now I realize when you say autistic, you could be a damn near genius and be autistic, right? I didn't know these things before. So I mean, I educated a lot in this case, and I think a lot of people did with Sebastian Rogers, as far as speaking to people that had autistic children, start ourselves this channel helping children with autism and families in need and stuff like that. So we got to learn a lot about the kids and what goes on with them, and some of their personal life stuff and journeys and battles and struggles. And I think we owe Sebastian Rogers that, right? Because um and like I said, in these journeys we take, we should always be learning, right? I've learned a little bit from every case I've covered in true crime, and especially Sebastian Rogers, because we're dealing with a different type of child than we usually would be dealing with. Like Summer wasn't autistic. She was rambunctious. She was a climber. She was wild. She was a little country girl, right? And so a different types of kids, right? And but all kids are important. I don't care if whatever condition you may have, no, every kid deserves to be loved and cared for. Like we have the whole thing going on right now with the Ohio 16. I don't know if you guys have been following that. I haven't had a chance to talk about it here, but they found these kids in really bad conditions in Ohio. They were living in like 16 kids in a 12 by 12 room. They say there was feces everywhere, and the kids were damn near feral, like wild. They're calling it one of the worst cases in the history of of child abuse. It's terrible. It is. I see people saying awful, horrible. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. And to me, man, it blows my mind of the amount of, because we just talked about the little girl that went missing in South Carolina. So to see a mother, and they just searched their house, the people's house in South Carolina, the little Harris girl, and they took out a burn barrel and a bag of stuff, but they said they didn't find any remains. So it appears that they didn't burn the little girl in the fire barrel, but they've been searching the house for evidence because of allegedly both parents confessed to murdering the little girl. Okay. And there's pictures that are surfacing. Oh my God, it was so heartbreaking. PJ showed me this today, and we're coming back from the airport, and she was like, "Look at this picture of this little girl," and the little girl had bruises all over her face, and there's a special place in hell for people that could do that to a child. What part of Ohio was it? I'm not quite sure what part of Ohio it was in. Now, some people are saying that in the Ohio 16 is what they're dubbing it. That this is just a real bad case of extreme poorness, their poverty, that they're just poor, that they wasn't abused, that they're just living rough, right? And there's 16 of them, and they're just poor. And this is a witch hunt against poor people. Some of the officers said their horses and their cattle lived better than these kids did. It's horrible. I understand being poor, and I understand abuse, and I mean I would have to see it for myself, but I have to take their word that these kids were living in horrible conditions, and some of them were hospitalized for what was going on with them in Ohio. All right. Now, Sebastian Rogers, since we're speaking on Sebastian Rogers, you know, this young man lived in a $700,000 house. Really, it could probably sell up to about $1 million, depending on the market. It's brick. It's on a big ass lot. Pretty house. 2-car garage. Well, no, it's a 4-car garage. Nice yard, like I said. And that's one of the smaller houses in the neighborhood. Some of them houses go up probably to 1.5, $2 million in the neighborhood. So he lived in a super nice, well, I would say really above middle class. It's above middle class. All right. So you would think, oh man, this kid got it good, but it didn't appear that he had it that great. When and I say this a lot. You can live in a box, and if there's love, it's a home. You can live in a $700,000 house, and if there's no love, it's not a home, right? You can live in a mansion, and if you're being treated bad and abused, I'd much rather live in a box and be treated good, right? And you think because people have it so good that life is good. Okay, that's what you would think. But that ain't always the case. That ain't always the case. We see kids go missing from $700,000 houses to Summer Wells. Their house is about $7. Okay, if you spent more than $7 on that house, you like God. If they think the people in Ohio had it bad, go look what Summer Wells lived in, and them boys. That shit was bad. That was probably. Have I seen worse? Yeah, I have. I've seen worse with kids, but I've seen people that live in houses that were about to crumble, but love their kids and take care of their kids. Their kids were still clean and dressed. Their house just sucked, looked like it was going to collapse, but that's all they could afford. They still took care of their children. You know, just because you're poor, don't mean you have to be neglectful, right? If you don't work, it seems like you got more time to take care of your kids than people that have to work. You know, um, and there's different levels of neglect to me. Like you got these people that live in nice houses, right? The mom and dad works, but PlayStation is raising their kid. Okay, and then you got poor people that live in a shack, and their parents are there with them, and guiding them and taking care of them. Which one is worse? The people that live in the shack or the people that's letting PlayStation raise their kid? You know what I'm saying? Why? And I understand you want all these good things, right? Everybody does. But you know what the most important thing in this world is? And we discussed this earlier, is family. It's family. You don't want to work so much that you neglect your family because everything you do should be for your family, right? So it's one of those things that you got to be able to go, okay, well, if I go too hard, I'm neglecting my family. But if I don't go hard enough, I'm neglecting my family. You got to find that fine line in I'm going to work, but I'm still going to be there for my family, right? And that's a tricky thing to do in like today's economy and things like that. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. It's one of those hard things. Family is the most important, and I agree. So in these 2 years that Sebastian has gone missing, we haven't seen nobody detained. We haven't seen nobody else brought in for questioning anything in this. We ain't seen no FBI raids. We seen that in Summer Wells just recently after 4 years that the FBI raided a home on Van Hill Road. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But we haven't seen nothing happen in Sebastian Rogers' case. Now, of course, the father, Seth Rogers. I don't know if he's the best representation of what you really need out there. And so he's always tried to elect people to be the voice for Sebastian Rogers. And the people that he's had speak for him, I don't want to say anything bad or ill because I don't never speak bad of people that are no longer here with us on this planet, right? They don't deserve to be disrespected. I believe in respecting the dead. I don't think at the time that they were here on this planet were the best people for the situation. And is that I think that's respectful enough, right? I don't think they were the best people for the situation why they were here. When there's times in your life that you need to step up. You need to step up for your son. You need to be that voice, and I just always felt like he didn't do that. He tried to get, a speaker or Betty or just somebody else instead of him, right? Now, and when you do that and you put people that really don't care about your child in these positions, it gets to be a slippery slope. And just recently, in Seth's last live stream he did, he said that TikTok Tony didn't care about Sebastian. He cared about him, and he was looking out for Seth Rogers. That's what TikTok Tony cared about. I'm not saying that. That is what Seth Rogers himself has said. Okay. Um, I don't know. I think things before, I don't know their inside workings, but I think things had started to kind of crumble between them a little bit before TikTok Tony had passed away. I'm not positive of that. This is just me speculating, looking from the outside, right? And Seth believes that Sebastian Rogers is alive. Okay. Now, Nancy, they've declared her most likely deceased. Okay. Sebastian Rogers, Hendersonville, has never came out and said this little boy is deceased because there was never no signs of foul play. Not in the house. They searched the house. They did luminol in the house. They had cadaver dogs in the house. They searched the walls. They searched the attics, heat signatures, everything they could possibly do to find Sebastian Rogers. Let me tell you, I think they did a good job in searching for Sebastian Rogers. I really do. They had everybody, all hands on deck, searched hundreds of people multiple times and couldn't find his kid. And the reason why was he wasn't there to be found. Somebody took this kid away from that house. They did. He was abducted from his home. They want to make it be like he ran out. Just like they were trying to say in the beginning of Nancy, right? They want to say that this kid left without no jacket and no shoes on in the middle of the night and that he's slow. Well, let me tell you, Sebastian didn't appear to be that slow. From what I've seen of Sebastian Rogers, he seemed like a pretty awesome kid. You know, he like we watched him eat dinner. We watched him learn how to ride a bike. We seen all the pictures of him. He always looked happy. He always looked like he was smiling. When we hear stories of him, it's he was a lot smarter than they made him out to be. He would get himself on and off the bus. He'd get himself dressed. This wasn't like a kid that you had to do everything for. But on that night, he wasn't smart enough to put his shoes on. He wasn't smart enough to know it's cold outside. Let me put a jacket on. And let's say you was a kid and you got out with no jacket and barefoot and you got a little ways from the house. You started getting cold. What would you do? You would turn around and go back and get your shoes and jacket. But he never did that. And he just vanished off the face of the earth. Let me tell you this. Kids just don't vanish. They don't. If a kid vanishes, somebody helped him vanish. All right. He wasn't born to David Copperfield. His daddy ain't Chris Angel, David Blaine, none of that. Kids just don't vanish. And this child did. So tells me somebody helped this child vanish. Now, there's multiple things, and it's hard to tell because we were so lied to. Was he in communication with other people? Through Roblox and other video games, Call of Duty and stuff like that he was playing. And they act like he didn't have anything. He for the longest time he had a PlayStation in his room, he had a Switch in his room, and all these games that he was playing, he could talk to people. Okay, y'all remember he was talking to his Uncle Taco, which was Seth's. I don't even think it's his actual uncle, but it's Seth's friend, and he was communicating with Sebastian through the video games. But in the beginning, oh no, he don't even have internet. He don't have no access to the internet. You tell me a 16-year-old, 15, 16-year-old kid that don't know how to get on the internet when you got it at your house, shit, they know how to get on quicker than you do. All right. So I believe this kid had access to the outside world. But I don't think the outside world had anything to do with it, in my opinion. Right? I think there's one person in here, and I always tell people this, right? I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a behavioral analyst. I'm not an independent journalist. I'm not none of that shit. I'm a YouTuber. But over the years of experience that I've had in true crime, I've gotten to recognize certain behaviors that send off huge red flags to me, right? Huge ones. And in Sebastian Rogers' case, man, every red flag that you could throw was there. Everything, right? You know, the lack of compassion that we seen. KP knows more, in my opinion. Hold on, let me hit my water, guys. I got a lot to say on this one. I'm getting a little choked up here. Now, the mother was there. And the crazy thing about it is, they had dogs, but she never heard Sebastian leave the house. She never heard him leave the house. Nobody's ever seen any proof that Sebastian left the house. And there's been so much debate on the lights. Okay. There was one channel that talked about lights for 2 years. Okay. Probably still looking at lights. Now, I had the father of Sebastian on this channel. He came up here and I said, Seth, what are the lights? He said, well, they took me down to the police station. They showed me an enhanced version of the video. The lights that people are seeing is a garbage truck. They showed it to me from multiple angles. I seen it. Blah, 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 blah. It's a truck. Them ain't okay. And Sebastian had a flashlight that he carried around, but the flashlight didn't work. A lot of people didn't know that. The flashlight didn't work. He used it as like a fidget spinner. He liked to play with it and click it and shit. But it didn't work. So there's no way that Sebastian was outside the house with a flashlight because the flashlight didn't work. Allegedly. All right. So Seth himself said, hey, it's a garbage truck. I'm positive that the police showed me that. And hey, did a show about the lights last night, Dolly. He did a show about the lights last. Damn. Okay. Wow. I was just kidding, but hey, whatever floats your YouTube boat, right? Whatever floats your YouTube boat. The mother, of course, odd behavior, super, super odd behavior. Didn't really come out like anything. But here's the thing I want to get into about the lights. The man says it's a garbage truck that he sees it. Okay, this is before he was aligned with Tony or he was aligned with Betty. Okay, once he got aligned with those people, he changed his story. Why? I don't think it fit their narrative because their narrative was that Katie, I'm not going to do the KP shit. It's too confusing for me. Katie allegedly took Sebastian out the back of the house and took him to a waiting vehicle that was either the Bower Sox or Chris Proudfoot. That's what people are alleging. Okay, not me. I have my suspicions, but I'm not alleging anything. I'm just telling you what people on the internet were alleging. That she took him out the back of the house and she took him to a waiting vehicle, which was either the Bower Sox or Chris himself that had drove from out of town 3 hours to get back there to do whatever. Now, I never really thought that happened, okay? Because I do believe the lights were a garbage truck, like Seth seen. The police showed him, right? And the reason he decided not to be dishonest is because it didn't fit their narrative of what they needed to take place. Okay. Now, me, I've always been suspicious of when Katie left that house that morning. Okay. Because nothing left. There's a camera across the street that films the whole house. All right. Nobody, you don't see nothing leave on camera. That morning, early morning hours, she leaves for like 30 to 45 minutes. She says she drives to the school. I don't believe it. I, I'm suspicious of that story, right? Now, could she have drove to school and did what she said? Absolutely. I'm not saying she's a liar. I'm just saying I'm a little suspicious of that story. Now, anybody that follows true crime, everybody in here can just about tell me the search radius of when a child goes missing, how far they search. Anybody want to tell it? Anybody want to tell it to show how smart you are in true crime? How far do they search when you go missing? It's almost in every case. Almost every case is almost the same. Can anybody tell me the search radius? First person right there, Becky. 5 miles is their search radius. Everybody in true crime knows that, right? We know that. We know how far they search. And let me tell you this: 5 miles don't sound like much, but it's 5 miles in all directions. Okay, it's not 5 miles in one direction. It's 5 miles in a complete circle from the point. Okay, from missing all the way around you in a complete circle, 5 miles. That's a lot. Believe it or not, it is. But let me tell you this: if you get in a car and you do, let's say 35, 45 miles an hour is your average speed limit. How long does it take you to go 5 miles? Not far. I mean, you'll be 5 miles in 10 minutes. Okay? You'll be 5 miles in 10 minutes outside of that perimeter in 10 minutes. Okay? Now you've been gone 30, 45 minutes. You had plenty of time to take somebody outside that radius, that 5 mile radius. Now, what gets me is these people were familiar with another case that took place in Tennessee, and that was the case of Summer Wells. These people knew about this case of this little girl that went missing, and answers still almost 5 years later. I think it is 5 years now. Still no answers. Still nothing, right? 5 years, but they knew about it. And we go into the point that they were trying to put this child in a home because they couldn't handle him. So they get on TV and say how much they love the child and they want him, all of them. But all the parents, step parents, mama and daddy, were all shopping around for a home to put Sebastian in. But yet on TV, they're telling us, and on the internet, they're telling us, nice shirt, Dolly. My boy's first skateboard was Element. That was 23 years ago. I do like this shirt, right? This is hard to find uh, stuff. Yeah, these I've had this shirt for a while. I can't remember what my first skateboard was. I couldn't tell you. I just got a new one, a new skateboard, but it's electric. It ain't like a kickboard. I mean, you can kick it, but it's not a kickboard. It's electric longboard. I do a lot more longboarding now that I'm old, down the beach and stuff like that. But I still skate to this day. Um, and speaking of skating, I went and seen the new Jackass movie. Oh my god, that is disgusting. It is. Don't watch it. It is horrible. It is like it ain't that good. There's a couple funny parts in it. It's a lot of man on man action in that movie. And I think when they were young, it was funny. It came off as funny. But now that they're older dudes and they're doing all that weird guy on guy, it seems a lot more creepy now. You know what I'm saying? Like too much nudity in it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of weird nudity too. It's like it, it's yeah. I didn't have no warning. I didn't know it was gonna be what it was. Okay, I've seen that they could have made that movie X rated. Okay, they could have. It was bad. It was bad. I was like, this is a little bit too much right here. Like a lot. Like there were some things in there that was just like, has anybody seen it? Has anybody seen the new Jackass movie? It's pretty bad. It's like, good lord, not many stunts in it. Like the old school Jackass movies. You know, like they took out all the skating. There ain't no bands in it. There ain't like you ain't got Tony Hawk. You ain't got. It's just it's it's a lot different now. It's like I could have made a better movie. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I could have made a better movie. I was like, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. I would save my money and wait till it came out on Netflix, censored, because it will be censored time it hits the internet. It's like that's some of the stuff was just a little unnecessary. Like it wasn't even funny, right? It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even like when I think stunts. I mean, yeah, I'm a prankish, but not even good. Yeah, they showed old stuff of Bam Margera, but they didn't show any new stuff of Bam Margera. It was all old. Most of the movie was old stuff, right? It just a little bit of new stuff and mixed with all the old stuff. But it was I don't know. It wasn't that good. Don't watch it with your kids. Whatever you do, do not watch that shit with no kids. That it definitely ain't made for kids. Um, it's a weird one. I don't know how I got on that. Oh, you said something about the skateboard and the element shirt. And usually when I think skateboard, and I think Thrasher, I think Tony Hawk, I think Jackass, Viva La Bam. You know, it goes into that element of the kind of the lifestyle. And that's what I told PJ last night after we watched the movie. I was like, what they did that was horrible is they took the lifestyle. There's a certain lifestyle people live that that skate and ride BMX and surf, and it's a certain individual. You know what I'm saying? And it's a certain lifestyle that goes with it, like the metal bands and the punk rock and the all the things that make it what it is. The lifestyle was gone. They stripped all that away, and then you're just left with some guys that are naked. It's just and old and naked. It don't have the same appeal that it once had. It ain't got nothing to do with Sebastian Rogers. I know we got squirrel as can be there. Um, but still, like I was saying, we're going on almost 3 years of Sebastian Rogers, and there's no answers. There's nobody being interrogated. There's nobody being questioned. It's just like he's gone. We don't know if there's no new tips. There's not even people speculating online. Okay. There's people, Bam's still alive. Yeah, Bam's still alive. We just met Bam. He did a promo for the channel. Um, check out DOLLY Vision. Okay. Bam has hit his head one too many times, but he's cool, dude. Bam's a cool guy. I got to talk to Bam a lot, and I got to ask him some questions. I asked him, was he ever going to make up with Johnny Knoxville? Y'all ever going to hug it out? Bro, hug it out is what I asked him. And he was like, I want to box that dude. Okay. I want to box him. He's mad because this gets off topic, but he wanted to be in the last movie because he makes over $1 million a movie, right? All of them, they get like $1 million each. And they wanted him because Steve O, Johnny Knoxville, Pontius, a lot of dudes have gotten clean. They gotten old. You know what I'm saying? They've sobered up, and they're trying to get their lives on track. And he won't. He was still partying hard. He was partying too hard, and they didn't want to be around it because they figured if they're around it, they may relapse. Right? And I can get that. If you're trying to get off of things, you don't want to be around it because you may fall victim to wanting to do these things. And that's the scary thing I said about giving some of these YouTubers that were drug addicts money. Because sometimes you're good when you broke, but you get a bunch of money, you can afford those things. And That's where it gets a little scary. So what they did was they demanded Bam go to rehab, and they put Bam in some crazy ass rehab where they're doing all this freaky shit to him. And he got clean though. He got clean, and then they still didn't let him in the movie, which cut him out over $1 million after he did all this rehab to get into the movie. He didn't go to rehab to get clean for himself. He went to rehab to get clean for this movie. He makes that clear. Like he makes it clear. I ain't stop partying for me. I start partying because I needed that money. And he's openly admits that, right? That, he did this for the movie part, which, probably saved his life. And then they didn't let him in the movie. He didn't get paid. All right. So in this movie, they didn't want to be around him because I don't know if they think he's a bad influence or whatever it may be. But what they did was they used his old clips and they paid him, but didn't let him in the new movie. So they show old Bam Margera clips in the movie. They just don't show anything new from Bam Margera in the new movie. So they figured instead of like, let's try to make the peace and let's go ahead and pay him his percentage and use old stuff. And that way we don't have to deal with him. We don't have to fight with him. We don't have to communicate with him. And everybody should be happy. But it didn't make him happy, and as a viewer of it that has been viewing it for 25, 30 years, I don't think it made the fans happy either. Because I think sometimes when it takes everybody, because like I said, I was like, they cut out a lot of the life, and Bam brought a lot of that to the table because he was the skater. He's the one that hung out with like Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Dave Mirra, all these people that were a big part of the culture of surfing, skating, biking, BMX, that type of stuff, were all kind of surrounded Bam. So when you take Bam out, you take those things out of the equation. And that's why I felt like, hey, this movie ain't made for me anymore. This ain't what I was thinking it was going to be. And now it's something else. And that's because it's missing. It's like a puzzle. If you take one piece of the puzzle out, you won't got the whole puzzle there no more. So I think he was a big part of that. And even though they should have figured out a way to work it out, and I just think if they would have had Bam in the movie, it would have been a better movie. But he told me that basically in person, I was talking to him, and he's like, F Johnny Knoxville, F them dudes. They did me dirty. If I would like to put my hands on them, I was like, damn. And he said that he had no plans of working it out with them. And I was just like, man, listen, money, man, is not, you only get so many friends in this world. You only get so many friends, and I guess they couldn't patch it up, right? I mean, it is what it is, but it made for a shitty movie. That's why I said I would give it. I don't even give it a thumb up. I don't. There was a few parts and I laughed pretty hard, but as a whole, I would say your movie sucked. Okay, it sucked bad. I love to meet Bam. He's a nice guy. Bam is a really nice guy. He's sober. He's not the. I want to say like you can tell he's abused a lot of things. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about him. As far as being a good guy, nice guy, all that he is. Far as when you hold a conversation with him, he's abused himself pretty bad. Okay, like but not incoherent bad. But it's taking a toll on Bam. I can tell you that firsthand. I'm like, okay, you ain't the Bam from MTV. You done banged your head on something, Bam. You know what I'm saying? But at least he's clean. At least he's alive. And one day when he gets over being mad at people, he'll realize, man, if they hadn't did what they did, he would possibly be dead right now. You know, he would have drank himself to death. He was pretty bad. So off topic, but I thought Bam's pranks on his mom and father were epic. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, it's all of them together is what made it funny. Okay, all of it together, and you got Ryan Dunn that passed away. Uh, he, I can tell you one person wasn't funny in it at all. Is Pontius wasn't funny in it. Steve-O wasn't funny in it. Steve-O was just disgusting, and it sucked. The movie sucked. I hate to say that, it just did. I hate to give it a bad rating because I really like the dudes. I like them as a whole, but I just thought that they needed to make a movie and they just threw some shit together to make a movie. It ain't like they really went all out and was like, let's make this epic fucking movie. It was like, let's make as much money off the franchise as we can. That's all it was. It was a money grab. That's it. Um, but back on track. Sebastian Rogers, is there ever going to be justice for this little dude? Right? And is it one of those places where I'm going to have to agree with Bullfrog Betty on. I think some of the police there have this good old boy mentality. Okay. You ain't going to hear me agree with Betty much on anything, but I do agree with her on this, that these people may have some friends in law enforcement. And that has helped them, and their knowledge of true crime, I think, has helped them. I ain't saying they did it. I'm just saying I have my suspicions that the mother in this case knows more than what she is telling. I think, just my opinion, I don't have no facts to base this on, that the mother may know a lot. Okay? Keyword that we use in code here for people that don't know. A lot. Okay? May know a lot. And the funny thing about this is her mother lives in walking distance to me. Sebastian Rogers' grandmother lives in walking distance to me. Right now, I could walk over to her house. I could take y'all with me. You know what I'm saying? To the grandmother's house. And I've thought about it many times of talking to her. And I figured I would bump into her by now, but I haven't, which is crazy because we live in the same general area. I figured I would bump into her. Sebastian Rogers' aunt, I used to go up to this dive bar years ago, and I would see her in there all the time. But I hardly ever drink anymore, so I haven't been in that dive bar in quite some time. So I haven't seen his aunt. But I used to see his aunt all the time. Like when I seen her picture, I was like, oh, that's his aunt. I know who she is, right? Because I see her in the neighborhood. But I haven't seen her either, which I've been pretty surprised at, right? Over the last 2 years that I haven't, because before this, I'd see him. I wouldn't say I'd see him all the time, but I would see him every now and then. Now I haven't seen him. Now, if I went looking for him, I'm sure I could bump into him. Okay. But I haven't went out my way to mess with these people. Right. Because I don't feel like they have anything to do with it. Plus, Sebastian's grandmother is on probation for the rest of her life for crimes against children. So, which it gets a little weird there, you know what I'm saying? Then you got your daughter that some people believe may have something to do with the disappearance. You know, it's sketchy at the least to say, you know what I'm saying? That, and I'm trying to be nice on this, the whole, blame game thing, right? You would think, and this goes into Savannah, and this is what a lot of people are saying about Savannah, that she's not, searching. We don't know what FBI is telling Savannah or any of these things, right? We just don't know. Hold on, what is this? Okay, all right. Facebook message. So, but we didn't see. I can't speak for what Katie, his mother's done privately. I can't. We don't know what they're doing. We only know what's public, that we can see that they're doing, and we haven't seen them publicly doing any type of major searching. Now we did see them go out there with a crime channel. What even crime? What a drama channel, right? They don't even do crime. They don't even talk true crime. Matter of fact, some of the people are not even on YouTube anymore. They done moved off to where they could be trashy, I guess would be the word for, where they could be what is the one dude, unfiltered, right? No, it's trashy. You know what I'm saying? You put a nice word on it. Don't change what you're saying, right? Don't change what you're saying. So a lot of these people have moved. We've seen them go out and search. They got kicked off YouTube. Yeah, a lot of these people have, you know, um, because they don't want to respect, the the what they can say. Like, yeah, in this world, this is what people got to understand about YouTube too is yeah, the First Amendment. You can say what you want to say, but this is not the public. This is a private entity. YouTube is a company. They have rules and regulations they ask you to follow. They don't want you saying homophobic things, right? They want everybody accepted. It. YouTube is a place for everybody to come and watch. Okay, no matter if you're black, white, Asian, blue, purple, alien, if you're whatever your sexual orient is, YouTube wants you to have a home here and be able to watch their platform. Right? That's how it should be anyway. Okay, be acceptable to people. Like, worry about yourself and stop worrying about other people. That's the most important thing, right? Especially when it comes to like their religion, sexuality, things like that. Stop trying to hurt people or be hateful or call like you're trapped in the fucking 60s. It's not the 60s anymore. Okay. We have people that are what they are. You know, be it love everybody, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Just love everybody no matter what. Is that so hard to do in this world these days? Now, I don't agree with everything, but I accept people for who they are, you know? Now, if you say you a lawn chair, I probably ain't going to treat you like a lawn chair, but I will accept you for who you are, a person that thinks they're a lawn chair. You know what I'm saying? And I will respect you as a fellow human being, and I will try not to say things to hurt you. Is that so hard to do in this world? Um, and then when you don't abide by those rules, they will. Sometimes they'll take your channel. Like we've seen some creators get their channel taken, and we just watched their creator get his monetization taken, right? Because YouTube sells advertisements. They want people to be able to come here and watch with their kids. And I when I do my show, I think that there's kids watching. I think that there's grandparents maybe sitting with their grandkids. I think that there's mothers sitting with their kids, and or even my kids watching, and she's grown, but still I think, hey, there could be young people watching. So I treat my platform as that. I would say my channel is PG-13. You may get occasional F bomb, but it's not going to be nothing that you got to go, oh my God, I can't believe my kid just heard or seen that. Okay. I'm not going to get up here and teach your kid to be hateful or to hate their fellow brother and sister, man, woman, uh, in this world, and that's how I treat it. Now, I can't tell how every YouTuber, um, how to run their channel. Some people are rude and crude and in the way it is, but that don't fit YouTube guidelines. All right, you would have to find a different platform to do that things on. And then when you come up on the YouTube, like if you want to get on X and say all this homophobic stuff, I wouldn't recommend then you get on YouTube and do it, right? Because YouTube X may not have those rules, but YouTube does. And if you're going to say a bunch of racist stuff, you shouldn't be thinking like that anyway. It to me it just shows you have a small mindset. You're not an educated person. Um, like yes, don't be hateful, man. Just be, all goes into be a good person, right? Is it really that hard to be a good human being? Like I said, I say some crazy shit, but usually when I do it, I'm picking and I'm playing. But when you say things with real hate in your heart, it's the intent behind your words, I believe. Sometimes it ain't even the words you say, it's the intent behind it, you know? If that hate is really there, it don't do it. That I don't want to get caught back into that web of stuff, but anybody that does watch that person, especially if you're here, you watch both of us. Encourage that person to do good, not bad. All right. That's what I would recommend. Encourage him to do good things and stop saying this bad shit. Like people are when people are double down and tripling down, it's because they feel like they're supported, right? But that behavior you shouldn't support. You should not support that type of behavior. If you're a good person, you can't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to church on Sunday, but I'm okay with this guy over here saying this and this and this." That ain't how it works. Now you can forgive that person because that's the Christian thing to do, right? Forgive, but I would encourage to be a better person, not encouraging bad behavior. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone now. All right. So Sebastian Rogers, nothing in 2 years. No questioning, no major leads, no major breaks, no nothing. I mean, Sebastian Rogers has went cold in 2 years. All his army is gone. Gone. Listen, this is sad. This broke my heart the other night. It didn't really break my heart, but it was sad. A little sad. Okay. When Seth started his channel, I was like, okay, at least a lot of these people won't be able to milk Seth because they kept bringing him up on his channel and he was the cash cow. Okay. And then Seth started his channel. And I was like, okay, at least some of this money will go to Seth. And he, that he probably deserves anyway, because I do believe it takes money to do things. I wish he would have used that money better, but it is, you give an idiot money and they don't know what to do with it. That shit happens, right? Um, Me, I invest my money. I don't care if it's $1. I'm rolling that dollar right back into myself. But he went live, I think last Friday. Was it last Friday? And I looked at the number of people that were in the room, and he had about 500, 600 people in the room. Okay. You can go with Dolly. You only got 700 in the room right now. I know. I'm Dolly. He used to have 5,000 people a night in the room. Okay. Just a year ago. Be 5,000 people in there watching what's going on. 3,000, 4,000 people wanting to know what's the latest update on Sebastian Rogers and what they heard and where the case is at. 1 year later, there's like 500 people in the room. That whole Sebastian army gone. The videos every day about Sebastian Rogers gone. It went from an army to like a squad. I mean, it's terrible. I know I'm laughing because I'm telling a joke, but the actual thing behind it is it's terrible because all these people that said they were there for Sebastian to the end are gone. It'll be the same way with Nancy. It was the same way with Summer Wells. There's still a few people that will, still keep Summer Wells' name out there and alive, but it ain't what it used to be. Okay. So we see these cases fade, which that's the worst thing to me. And that's why I say, like, even though that it's all drama with Alex, right? He's still drawing eyes. He's still drawing people to that drama. So I ain't gonna knock his drama. Like I said, I'm gonna knock the fact that he said something mean to Savannah. I wish he would stop that. The drama shit and the fighting with people, I mean, that's part of the game, right? Him and Nerdy Addict and stuff like that. That's just part of the game to me, right? Even if whoever goes back and forth, people are interested in that because people love drama. They do. Some of y'all people love it. Can't get enough of it, right? So there is an audience for it. So I don't dislike that. I know it's going to come to this. It comes to it in all the cases, but it gets to a point to where if it wasn't for the drama, there wouldn't be nothing. And you hear these people being like, yo, YouTubers are only people keeping this shit alive. I agree. I agree. But there should be some guidelines or rules to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind a good back and forth. Seeing, because I know Nerdy's just trolling them, right? I know he's just trolling them and picking and trying to get a reaction. But all this stuff that's happening ain't happening because of Nerdy. They just need a fall guy, right? Nerdy's being the bad guy. Somebody has to be the bad guy, right? And that's what Nerdy's doing. And he's owning it and he's laughing about it. All this is funny to him. And what they think is, we're going to say all these bad things about Nerdy, but he's just laughing, right? Because he's just trying to get a reaction. That's it. That is it. That's all he wants is a reaction. And they're giving him that every day. They're giving it to him every day. And because in trolling, right? Because, I started this channel kind of picking on people. I used to pick on Molly. I used to pick on Betty. And then at some point I become friends with those people. And then I was like, that was probably a bad move because then I realized that they wasn't good people. Right. I had to learn the hard way. But that's how it starts. And my whole thing was, let me just get I'm just playing because I do YouTube. I was doing YouTube for fun and just let me, pick on people and get a reaction to see what, just to start rattle the cage a little bit, right? Rattle the cage a little bit. And but it's come to a point to where everybody believes Nerdy was going to beat up Spirit Fingers. No, he wasn't. He wasn't never going to touch it. They wasn't going to do that. They wasn't out to hurt Spirit Fingers. You know, I think the whole thing was their mission, and that was let's give this dude a taste of what he gives people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if I throw a camera in your face and you throw a camera in my face, am I gonna get mad at you? No. If you do things to me that I do to people, am I gonna get mad at you? No. You want to come stand outside? You can stand outside all day. I'll come sit with you. Okay? We can hang out. I ain't gonna get mad at you because I do the same things. Nobody wants to hurt that dude. Okay? They want to pick on the dude because he's these some of these people are mentally unstable. These are the same people that take antipsychotic medicines. You know what I'm saying? These are people that are they're minutes from being unhinged. And people are showing you how unhinged they can be and how quick. And it's funny to them. I don't find it that funny. Okay. I don't think you should be messing with crazy people because you don't never know what they're capable of doing. Um, Especially when you got men that will put their hands on people and like they may not be mad at that person. They may be mad about something else and then they take it out on somebody else. That's where it gets scary. You start upsetting these people and then they start to rage, but you ain't around for them to rage on. So they rage on the people that are around them. That's when it gets scary. That's why you really shouldn't, you shouldn't pick on unhinged people too much, right? That's what I think. because you don't want to be the one responsible for if one of these dudes flip out and hurt somebody else. You know, getting a good rib out of them, or I see why people do it. At the same time, like, okay, they think they're this. Let me. If you would stop saying it, people would stop. Like when you get out here and you start saying you're a journalist, but everybody in the damn mama know you ain't a journalist. Anybody with any common sense, um, anybody can snap at any moment. No, no, no. Some people have a. Can I snap? Hell yeah, I can snap. But I have a good tolerance. I got to the point where I know I'm going to snap, and I will get away from you. Okay. Like that comes with wisdom, and you get wiser, right? You start to get a little wiser and you go, okay, these people are starting to get to me. I'm starting to get a little mad. Let me get off of YouTube, or let me get away from these people, especially in person, walk away. It really takes a bigger man to do it, to be able to walk away. It's hard. Even I fell victim to it, right? Flipping the fuck out. And these people know that they're able to do this too, right? People start to know what upsets you and what pushes your buttons. I will say things about people, but I try to keep it as classy as I can for the most part. A little bit of joking to add some humor to it. But like I said, I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike anybody. I sometimes I don't like your actions. Like I said, I have nothing personal against Alex at all whatsoever. I wish the man nothing but a good life. But at the same time, I don't want him attacking Savannah. I think that's trashy. Don't do that. That's horrible, man. Leave that woman the f alone. The rest of it's just YouTube stuff to me, right? The picking, the joking, the playing. That's just all YouTube stuff. But in real life, I do really want him to stop attacking that woman. I don't think that's cool. I don't think it's if you're doing it for entertainment, it's shitty entertainment. Like, don't do that. Everything else, man, fair game. I ain't got nothing against you. Like, live your best life, man. I'll rap on an album with you. Wooka, wooka, wooka. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. The rest of it's internet angst to me, right? Just picking, just playing. People really think I dislike these people. I don't. Well, I don't dislike Jazz Hands. I don't like what he does. I don't like that shit at all. Would I hang out with these people? No. Definitely not that dude. I gave him a chance, and then after that whole, that lady stuff came out, I was like, not my kind of people. Not the people I want to be associated with. But do I hate that man? Nope. Don't hate anybody. Don't hate you. Don't hate anybody that leaves me bad comments. I don't hate anybody. I don't have hate in my heart. Okay. The only thing I hate is when PJ beats me. Okay. I don't deserve it. All right. I'm playing. She don't be. People be believing that shit too. Like he's scared of PJ. PJ runs it. No, I be playing. Okay. Dolly wears the pants around here. What the shorts? I got shorts on today. All right. So for all you people that be believing that stuff, I just kidding. It's all just 90% of what I say up here is me bullshitting. Okay, killing time, laughing, joking, having a good time. I but so many people take everything so dead ass serious that it's like, do y'all just know I'm playing? Do y'all know that I'm just playing? It passes. I'm passing time. That's it. I'm just playing. Like I said, I don't have anything personal against anybody. If they fell and broke their leg, I'd pick them up and give them a ride to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. I will laugh at you, once I know you all right. You know, that's how I've always been. I've been that way with my friends. I Some of the meanest stuff I say to people are the people that are closest to me. I pick on everybody that I'm close with. If I like you, I pick on you. If I don't like you, I don't say nothing to you or about you. If I don't like you, I won't mention you. If I mention you, I somewhat like you. Okay. And even in there's things that I like about Jazz Hands. I don't like he puts his hands on women. That's for damn sure. But there's things he does that I like, some of his sleuthing. You know what I'm saying? Um, in true crime, I don't like all that other shit he does. But in true crime, like I said, there's little things I like about every. If I didn't completely just hated you, I'm never even going to mention you ever. Like there's channels I don't even mention because I don't like their channels. I don't hate the people. I just don't like their channels, so I don't mention them. I don't care if they make 1,000 videos about me. I never mention them. You know what I'm saying? They're like they're like we're getting to them. They I don't even talk about you. It don't even phase me, right? It don't even phase me. Now, the reason we here today, Summer Wells. All right, this little girl is the reason that I decided to start this true crime channel, this true crime journey that we're on right here. Saddest case, still to this day, that I've dealt with. I don't know what it was that got through that barrier to my crusty heart at the time. Because we're talking 6 years ago. I'm a lot nicer person than I was 6 years ago. But it did. And it was one of those late nights, munchies, kicking back on the couch, watching videos and of this little girl. And I honestly felt like she didn't have a fighting chance. I was like, man, her parents are horrible. Okay, just straight horrible. Like the conditions, her parents, just everything this little girl is going through, and what's being alleged at the time. Now, of course, the internet, you never know what's true up here, right? You have to really do your own research to really find out because people put out so much false information and stuff like this. Now, it was weird because I was in the Gabby Petito and there was these certain people involved. So I roll into the Summer Wells case, and because of a viewer named Stony Stone called me and called up my show and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of Summer Wells?" And I was like, "Of course not. I'm sure y'all have heard the story 1,000 times." But then one late night, it popped in my head to Summer Wells, and I started looking it up. And then these same people that made a shit show out of Brian Laundrie stuff on YouTube, and allegedly some of them planted stuff at that crime scene or that scene. I ain't gonna say crime scene because the crime scene happened in what was it, Utah or something like that. But ended up planting some things near the laundry home, and we're out there creating a lot of chaos. They rolled right over into the Summer Wells case. Same people. I've always been dealing with the same 6 years. I've dealt with the same people in every case, right? One, because there's only a handful of us that actually go out to the scenes. Okay. I mean, you can count them on one hand. Now, of course, we know cases are going to come up in the future, and it's going to be the same people there again. All right. Now, some of these people we're seeing right now, like Alex and stuff like that, we won't see them. They won't be there. That won't happen. The same people you're used to seeing for the last 6 years at crime scenes, or be the same people you see for the next 6 years. Okay. Um, we lost Betty. Betty don't. she she don't be showing up hardly anymore, right? Occasionally, if it's in striking distance, but of course you know who you're going to see. You know who you're going to see at the crime scenes. You already know. Everybody on YouTube knows who's going to be there. It's going to be the same people that have dedicated that much of their life to traveling to these scenes and bringing you guys the stories firsthand. And that's a handful of people. You can count them on one hand. All right. Like, do I think at any point I'm ever going to show up and see any of the people that I've seen in Arizona ever again? I highly doubt it. Right. I really highly doubt it. I know I'm going to see JLR. Right? That bitch is everywhere. You can't outrun him. Right. He's going to be there. He's going to be in the bushes. He can drive. I could take a plane and he still beats me there. I don't know how he does it. The dude is quick. And that goes to his he's a go-getter. I can never take that away from that. I don't like, a lot of the shit he does, as far as in his personal life, but far as his uh covering crimes, that dude is. on his game. I mean, he's like I said, he's hard to beat anywhere. Okay, he can walk and I can fly, and I think he'd beat me there. I don't know how he does it. He's fucking quick. He's quick with it. Them little noodle arms are aerodynamic. I don't know. So I gotta say this. Now this is hating. This is hating. This is straight hating right here for all y'all that call me a hater out there. Has anybody seen all these AI pictures they've been doing of JLR where he has these big arms? Listen, I've seen his arms are noodles. Okay, he has fucking noodle arms. I mean, they're like linguine. They're like damn angel hair pasta. Okay, they're fucking little, and they got all these pictures of him all buff and shit. I'm like, where the hell did you get AI? Is the devil? Okay, that dude don't look nothing like that. Okay, he fucking got arm sleeves on, and his fucking arms are like this skinny. Okay, they're showing him out there. He's AI and the hell out of pictures and shit. Don't look nothing like that. Okay, I've stood in person with the fucking man. I know what he looks like, right? I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, who the hell is that? Okay, because that damn sure ain't this dude, right? I don't. He's not singing. Okay, it ain't that guy. I'm like, will you stop AI and muscles onto this man? Okay, that shit is weird. That is just weird. Okay, he is a wirely little dude. I see this picture. He's all buff and shit. I was like, maybe he needs to start working out. He could. I ain't saying he couldn't get like that. You know what I'm saying? A little exercise, go to the gym, get you a Planet Fitness membership or something. Matter of fact, I may go tonight. I need to get on treadmill a little bit. I was going good like for a while. I still got some gun. I ain't that skinny. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty thick guy. Uh, but I need to get rid of this belly a little bit. I need to cut down on the belly. Um, but when I see these pictures, I'm like, I'm gonna AI me some buff ass pictures, like Hulk Hogan and shit. I don't know. I'm just like this AI uh shit is too much for me. Okay, bow tie pasta. It trips me out. Like I don't even think people know he be AI in the pictures. I'm like, yo, this dude is AI in the hell out of his shit. Like this ain't even him. All right, he's putting that shit right in Chat GBT and like make me look like this and post and shit. I'm like, dude, that don't look like you, bro. I seen you. It don't look like you. I, in all the images, this is where it gets funny. He ain't AI all the muscle pictures, but he, in the court stuff, he kind of said that all these pictures of him with the Nazi stuff and the Jesus and the knife to the girl, they were all AI. But these pictures have been around before AI was even out. So it's just weird. It's just weird, man. Um, his new buddy Ted will be there, maybe. No, listen. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't see these dudes being around much after Nancy Guthrie. JLR, you gotta remember he did the same thing in the Convicante case with what's the weird fucking dude that night guy? Nick the Hat. Y'all remember Nick the Hat? They were like buddies. They were sitting on porches together, going to cookouts. They had a bromance from hell, okay? As soon as that case was over, they can't stand each other. How long before these personalities clash? Okay. Soon as JLR throws Alex away, Alex is going to go on the attack. Who wants to who wants to go against me? Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Say, Dolly, you wrong. If you believe I'm right, press one chat. We already know. We've been seen it. History on YouTube repeats itself. Okay, it does. It will. It's just the way it is. Um, Now, I wish people wouldn't use people like that because that's what I feel like is. Sometimes I feel bad because I feel like the dude is easily manipulated, and I think it's terrible to manipulate people. Um, Ted's a hot mess or just a mess. I don't really know Ted that well. He just seems like a used car salesman to me. Do you think he used Alex for views? No, no. JLR's always done good views. He's always done good views. He don't he needs personality, okay? Because he don't have much of one. That ain't being mean. That ain't being mean. That's just being honest, right? That's just being honest. He needs a little bit of personality with him. And if he brings in people with personality, it adds to what he's doing. But I don't think he's using them for views. Not at all. Because JR is going to do a lot of views no matter what. We know that. Okay. Everybody knows that. He's kind of eccentric, right? He's kind of a unique kind of how he repeats himself constantly. He has a personality. I don't think it's a captivating personality. Okay, he's definitely a personality. Uh Dolly, you are cracking me up today. I think he needs these people, right? And he'll keep them around till he don't need them people anymore. And I'm not like that. If I like you, I like you, right? I don't keep people around because I need you or anything like that. I just feel like they trust this dude and they look up to this guy, and I think they genuinely do it, and I don't think he's as genuine as the people that are following him are. You know, now that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and I just feel like that. That's why I say the things I say. I'm like, well, they probably won't be around because I've seen this before. Um, so Dolly speaks facts. He kind of hung Alex out to dry about where he got those names from recently. You're absolutely right. I laughed about it because man, because everybody thinks I'm an asshole. They just like, no, he's a fucking asshole. He's fucking hate. Like, am I the hater or am I being the voice of reason? It's a little bit of both, a little bit of asshole, and a little bit of voice of reason. If I was lying to you, I'd feel bad because I don't want to come up here and lie to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I want to plant the seed, and I like I said, I don't agree with what Alex said. I don't want to see the man people pulling strings and putting batteries in his back and propping him up and making him believe he's something he's not. You know, um, can he be those things? Yeah, he can be those things if you work hard and you do better. If you want to be taken serious as an independent journalist or investigative journalist, then like fake it till you make it. Act the part. Okay? Act the part. If you're not acting the part, even if it's an act, nobody's gonna take you serious. Not with the language, not with the homophobic slurs, not with the racism, not with any of that. Nobody's gonna take you serious. Except for these brainwashed people that you can't do no wrong. Decent people are not going to take you serious. Not no good person on this planet is going to take you serious. Shit, I don't do nowhere near that, and nobody takes me serious. You know what I'm saying? I tell a couple jokes, they're like, "This motherfucker ain't serious," right? So that's all I'm saying is I think if somebody pulled out something and went bang, that man would push you right in front of it. If a bus was barreling down the street and it can only hit one of you, Alex, you would get ran over. I, it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. Um, I just don't. I don't get how everything works. But I'm only one person, and I think this turned into more about them than anything else today. I don't know how that happened. I would that wasn't my intent. But let me try to get back on track. Okay, somewhere else. Tragic story. It's almost time for me to go now. I've been here 2.5 hours. I got to get me some lunch. I may have to get into the somewhere else story later today with you guys. I don't have much time left. I've been here for 2.5 hours. I ain't had nothing to drink, nothing to eat. So, um, because there's so much to get into in the Summer Wells stuff, especially with the Van Hill Road, the FBI. What I was going to say is, based, FBI. At least the FBI is still actively pursuing things in the Summer Wells case, but we don't see that in the Sebastian Rogers case. Now, Seth has been asking for the FBI's help a lot, but it seems like it's just falling under the Hendersonville Sheriff's Department, and we're not seeing no movement in the Sebastian Rogers case. And even though uh, Summer Wells is so old, we're still seeing movement in that case. In my opinion, Jazz Hands has always seemed seedy and sketchy to me, and now this trouble with you unsubbed. Listen, I'm not trying to encourage people. Watch who you want to watch. No, if it goes against your morals and your values, that's what I did. Is I unsubbed myself, right? And like I said, I still don't wish no bad on anybody. Hope everybody does great. It's just people like I said, I don't hate anybody, but I can't associate with certain people, right? It's just against my morals, right? I have a daughter. Anybody put their hands on my daughter, I'm going to prison, all right? I don't recommend you put your hands on anybody. That's just me. And when those text messages came out in court documents where he admitted it, oh, that like I was already done anyway. I was I was done at the Jesus picture. I was done. Okay? It goes against everything that I stand for. Yeah, I'm trying to get right with the Lord. Please, little baby Jesus, God, let me in, right? I'm trying to get right with the Lord. I just these same women that are Bible thumping out here supporting that stuff. I don't know how. And I know people go, "Oh, it's fake dollies." No, it ain't. No, this shit's been out that the riding around with baby dolls, and no, it ain't fake. It's not none of that. Not I ain't dumb. I ain't dumb, and that was really really it for me. And it's crazy because I had pretty much looked past all the old shit he did. I don't know how I didn't see that. Right? Because I was just thinking, okay, yeah, he did some kooky shit in his past, dressing up like a Muslim, his fascinations with killers and spree killers is like weird, the whole Batman stuff, the James Holmes stuff. And I mean, I could go on that dude, right? But I tried to look past it. I did when I was out there. I shook his hand. I was like, good to see JLR. And I tried to put all that old shit he did, in the past. But at that time, the Magnolia stuff hadn't came out. And then when the Magnolia stuff came out, this is when these pictures started to resurface. Stuff that he had done started to resurface, like the Coke bottle and the Nazi stuff and it's just so much of it. And but the Jesus one is the one that really got me. Like I was like, that is bad. Okay, that right there is pretty bad. And I don't know. I just it just got it. It was like when I was like, that's it. That's I. If the man walked up to me tomorrow, I'd be like, bro, I don't fuck with you. Okay. It'd be like that rap song. I don't F with you, you little silly ass. B, I ain't effing with you. Nah, I ain't doing it. I don't need to. And I think a lot of people look at him as he's so big on the YouTube that if you kiss his butt, it helps you. right? Because he can push your channel and bump your channel up and get you viewers. But really, what are you selling? You're selling your soul. You're selling your soul at that point. Yeah. I would rather stay at 97,000 for the rest of my life than to be that guy, right? I don't kiss anybody's butt for a view. It it ain't gonna change my life any. I'm still gonna live a good life. If I kiss his butt or don't kiss his butt, I'd rather not kiss his butt. And stand on my 2 feet and have some morals and values in this world. These little people, yeah, they're gonna kiss his butt because they think, oh well, it'll help my channel. That is horrible. That just shows me, one, you're willing to overlook all this stuff to get a view and a subscriber on your channel. Now, don't you think if I was out here kissing his butt, I'd be well over 100,000 subscribers right now? Because everybody, this dude is the bee's knees to a lot of people. Okay, he's the holy grail of YouTube. Not to me. All right, maybe to some other people out here that I've always stood on my own 2 feet, did my own thing, and this dude, I don't need him for my success. I don't. Uh, he ain't ever bought one of my airline tickets. You guys have. You to who I need to impress, not that fucking ass clown. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at things. Like I just need to make y'all happy. Well, hell with him. As he ain't never did nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So hell with that dude. Yeah, don't dude's good though. He's good. He got a lot of people, in his pocket, and he's a pimp. I give him that. Yeah, that dude is a pimp. He got motherfuckers getting his fucking tripod and stuff. I can't do that. I'm like, bro, get me my tripod. People be like, bitch, you better get it yourself, right? Even have to ask PJ. She'd be like, you better get up. I don't know how he magically does it. You know what I'm saying? I need me a couple followers out there. Let me get an Alex, okay? Oh man. All right, let me stop. Let me stop picking on people. But be good people, guys. That's important in this world. And that's really all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell your soul for a view or a click. It ain't worth it. I'm telling you, don't do it. I these people that do it, it shows you. It shows you. If I'm gonna align myself with anybody, I'm gonna align myself with good people. I'm gonna try to anyway. If I, can I be fooled? Dolly T Rev roast. What does it say? Roast had me laughing so hard. He's funny and smart and wise. I only pay membership to 2 channels. I need people to make me laugh. Leftover pizza. Oh, T Rev. Oh God, man. That dude. That was JLR's buddy too, right? That was one of those I'm gonna ride off of JLR kind of guys. And then he started faking everything, and it is what it is. Oh my God. I mean, the whole praying with you thing. All right, producer's calling. Hello? Okay. That was the don't roast T Rev call. I know you ain't about to start roasting T Rev. I'm not. I'm going to let T Rev slide. I mean, he's struggling over there. He's struggling. So I'll let T Rev, I give T Rev a free pass. I give him a little pass. He's usually sitting on my lap anyway. He wants to be Dolly. So at least these other clowns don't want to be me. Okay. They're like, fuck Dolly. That dude wants to be Dolly. That's a difference. That's like my clone. He's like, I got that little man on my lap burping him, right? I'd rather At least Alex and JR don't like me. Okay. This dude wants to be my clone. He wants to wear my skin, little weird ass dude. Okay. Probably eats the DoorDash food and everything. I ain't saying that about him. I'm gonna let him slide, babe. Don't worry. I'll let him slide today. All right. This internet stuff, man. What can you do? All right, I'm getting out of here. You guys be good. Gonna end it on T-Ram. Gonna end that shit right on T-Ram. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed the drama today. Okay. If y'all want to call me a hater, y'all can. I did some hating today, boy. I did a whole bunch of that. Make sure you leave hater in the comments. Okay. I want to see it. Even if you don't think I was a hater, I just put hater. All right. Y'all just leave a comment that says Dolly's a hater. All right. Love you guys. Be safe. Peace.